Hey, could you and your spouse work together? Uh-oh. You can't turn your phone while live, which I think means we're sideways. So let's try that. Sorry about that.
Bring it up.
And up.
Okay.
We're going to squeeze in. So I don't think I have my rotation on. So this is probably aptly fitting considering the fact that we're talking about working together as a couple. So, do you think that you could work with your spouse? That's the question for today. Hey, I'm Cici.
And I'm Jason, and we're a husband and wife team, and we're dedicated to helping you reclaim your physical and financial health.
And we have been tasked with hopping on really quickly to chat with you. So today we're talking about how you can work with your spouse. 2 secrets that can really help you to do that. So should we dig in?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will go first. Our first thing that we think is really important is effective communication, right? And so, hey Sue, thanks for hopping on. So one of the things that is helpful for us, Jason and I work together in our business, and one of the things that's helpful for us is effectively communicating with one another. So what does that mean? So there's one of the things that I think is really important when you're working with your partner is that you critique privately, right? And that you also praise publicly, right? So when Jason and I are working together, we definitely see things that we can improve, right? I might see something and I'm like, hey, you need to work on that. But I would never publicly shame him in some kind of crazy way, or I would never want to make him look bad in public. Right? Like that's not what we do. So what we do is we make an effort to really come together and in public really have that united front. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so that's one of the things that I think is really important. You really want to make sure that you guys are keeping those private conversations, those critical conversations, because you have to be able to have them, right? Stuff comes up. So Jason and I actually have a meeting every single Sunday for our business. We sit down and it's sort of no holds barred, right? Like it's a private conversation, just me and you. Jason brings his notebook, I bring my notebook. We talk about where things are in our business, and we have to have that space to do that. That's what Jason always calls it, like the space for the relationship to be comfortable in that way. So you have to be willing to have the difficult conversations and also have them in private. So that's my tip that I would give. What about you?
And for me, my biggest tip would be it's okay. You have to be okay with growing together and separately. And so, like one of the things Cici and I do together, how we grow, we have a golden hour where we read a chapter out of a book together every night, and we talk about our day. And then we also grow separately too. She have mentors that she listened to and her books that she liked to listen to. And I have my mentors and books that I like to listen to and read. And so like one of the things I like to do now is play Monopoly. So we play it a lot, and it's a good way for me to actually learn how to do assets from liabilities that I learned from Robert Kiyosaki. So that's one of the things that I really love doing.
Yeah, so Jason is really honed into that. Right? Like he loves this real estate stuff and learning all about that. That's not for me, right? That's an area in our business that's all him. And I give him the space to grow in that, and he gives me the space to grow in other areas of our business. And I think that that's what's really important when it comes to what Jason's talking about. So like us growing together, he mentioned our golden hour, right? What is that?
Well, Golden Hour, what we do, we have a specific book that we actually read every night. So we're on that. Tonight is going to be our 3rd time finishing the book.
Yes.
And so it's really cool. And so we do that, and then afterwards we do a vision. Where do we want our business to be? Where do we want to be personally? What is our goal to put out in the world? Mm-hmm. And then after that we do our mantra. Well, we read our affirmation. Mm-hmm. I always say it wrong. Well, we read our affirmations, and then we usually have some kind of frequency music going on under the bed, just to help keep the vibrations high. It's just our golden hour that what we love to do to end our day and start our day.
Right. And so when Jason says grow together, those are some of the things that we do, right? We spend some time working on ourselves as a couple, right? And we also spend time going to events together so that we're learning together. So while we have our separate interests that are important to us, we also make time to grow together as well, which I think is really important.
And we do go to events separately.
And yes, okay, so he's right. We also do some events separately, right?
Yeah.
Because I went to this like really great like spiritual workshop thing by myself, right? Like he did not join me for that. And he goes to his own things for himself too. So I think that's a good point, right? You got to have some balance in the relationship. There will be times when it might be like, okay, we're going to have you go do this thing because that's what's going to help us grow, help our business grow, help our relationship grow. And there'll be times when it's like, okay, we both need to be there to get what we need as a couple. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that make sense? So those are the two keys I think that are super important. That is making sure that you are communicating effectively, and especially making sure that you praise in public and critique in private, right? And second, also growing both together and individually. So those are two secrets that can really help you work with your spouse if that's something that you've been thinking about doing. Now, if you would like to know some of the other things that have helped Jason and I to actually work together and it be a positive situation, right, then shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to send you 4 more tips that have helped us communicate really well and helped us grow both our business and our relationship. So if you'd like those, hop on over to my inbox and I will send those your way. Otherwise, I will chat with you like I normally do tomorrow. Ciao.